Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about decision statement. So before discussing the decision statement, first we will discuss what is relational operator and why it is used for. So relational operators are basically the comparison operator that can be used to perform the comparison among the numbers or the strings. So we have 6 relational operators available in Python: greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, not equals to, and double equals to. So whenever we want to perform any kind of comparison among the two entities, then we can use the relational operators. Now, when you're performing the comparison, so to perform the comparison, we require a decision statements as well. If there is one comparison, we are going to use the if statement. So if is a conditional statement that can be used to perform the comparison among the two entities. If there are either this way or this way, then in that case we are going to use the if else decision statement. And if there are multiple conditions associated in the program, then we can use the nested if else structure. And in Python, we have one more decision statement available, that is if elif else structure. So when you have the multiple conditions associated, then in that case you can go for if elif else structure also. So we'll discuss all this decision statement one by one. So first, let us have the if statement. So basically, now simple if statement is used when you have only single form of conditional operation to be performed. Suppose I have two numbers, a equals to 4 and b equals to 4. Now I want to check whether these two numbers are equal or not. So I am going to use this if statement. So the syntax is going to be if keyword, then the condition which you want to perform. So my condition is I want to perform the equal operation between A and B, comparison equal operation. So I'm going to write A is equals to B. So you can see I have used the double equals to relational operator to perform the comparison. Then give colon and then enter. So when you press enter, now you can see here you will write those statements which are part of your if statement. Means if my condition is true, then only the statement written inside the if statement are going to execute. Suppose I want to print both are equal and then enter. Again I'll write enter. So again you can see if I write something, so that statement again belongs to if only. And again one more thing you have to remember, if follow indentation. The Python follows the indentation. So means here whatever statements I'm going to write inside the if, that must be indented. Now my if statement only contains one print statement, so I'm going to write print both are equal. Now another statement I'm writing here, print comparison done. Comparison done. Now this is what the code. I have written a equals to 4, b equals to 4, then I have written a is equals to b, print both are equal, and print comparison done. Now let me run this. So you can see I'm getting the output both are equal and comparison done. That means here it has performed if a is equals to b. So here my a is 4 and b is 4. So both are equal. As my both are equal, that means my condition is true. And when my condition is true, it is going to be inside the if and it is going to print both are equal. And once the printing is done, it come out of the loop and going to print comparison is done. Now let's modify the code. Instead of 4, now let's assign a equals to 3. Now you can see my a is 3 and my b is 4. Now, if A is equals to B, if this condition is true, it is going to print both are equal. Otherwise, it is going to print comparison done. Now, let's run this. You can see it has only printed comparison done because my condition is false. As my condition is false, my loop, my cursor is not going to enter into the loop. It will directly come out of the loop and executed the comparison done. I hope you have understood the use of if statement. Now, let us discuss the if else statement. Now, what is this if else statement? If else statement, when you have either this or this, okay, means I want to say that whether they are equal or not equal, both the things I have to perform. So in that case, I'm going to write like this: A is equals to 4 and B is equals to 3, and let's write if A is equals to B, and then colon, and let's write print both are equal. Else print both are not equal. And then at the end, I want to print comparison operation done. And now, see what I have written here. I have assigned the value A is equals to 4. I have assigned B equals to 3. And then I have written if A is equals to B. That means I am performing the comparison. So if my A and B both are equal, then it is going to print both are equal. If they are not equal, that means my condition is false. If my condition is false, it is going to print the else part. That is, both are not equal. And once the execution is done, it will come out of the loop, and out of the loop one more statement we have written, that is comparison operation done. So this is going to print comparison operation done at the end. So let me run this. Okay, sorry. Okay, after else also we have to add the colon here. So let me run this. So you can see, as my value which I have passed, A as a 4 and B as a 3, so I am getting both are not equal along with comparison operation done. Now let's modify this. Let's have A equals to 3. Okay, so I have assigned A equals to 3 as well as B equals to 3, and now let me run this again. So now you can see, in this case, now I am getting both are equal and comparison operation done. I have to show you how actually it works like this. See, in if, this is what my conditional box. So it is going to evaluate the expression or a condition. If expression or condition is true, it is going to execute the S1 part, and if the expression or a condition is false, it is going to execute the S2 part, followed by the remaining statement. So this is how my if else statement works. I hope you have understood this. Now let us discuss the one more program related to this if else. Suppose I want to perform the comparison among two numbers, like which one is large. So I'm writing here A equals to int input, enter a number. Then I'm going to retrieve one more input from the user, int input, enter a number. then I'm going to perform the comparison here. So if A greater than B. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to retrieve the two input from the user. Once the input is retrieved from the user, I'm going to compare it. So if A is greater than B, if this condition is true, I'm going to print is large. Means my first number is large. Else I'm going to print B is large. That means my second number is large. And at the end I'm printing operation done. Now let me run this. So it is asking to enter a number. So let's enter 5. Again it is asking for a number. So let's enter 10. So you can see it has displayed 10 is large. And after displaying the 10 is large, it has displayed operation done. So you can see I have entered value 5. So 5 is assigned to A. Then 10 is assigned to B. And then it has performed the comparison 5 greater than 10. So as 5 is not greater than 10, it goes to else part. And once it goes to else part, it is going to execute the else part. So it has executed that B is large, that is 10 is large. So this is how we use if else statement along with the relational operator to perform the comparison. Now suppose I have to perform the comparison among three numbers. Okay, I have to perform the comparison among three numbers. So in that case, we are going to use the nested if else. So let's read the input from the user. So I'm going to write A equals to int input, enter a number. Then again I'm going to read another number from the user. So int input, enter a number. One more input we will retrieve from the user. So C equals to again int input, enter a number. Finally, after retrieving all these three numbers from the user, we are going to perform the comparison. So if A greater than B, okay, so I'm using this if A greater than B. If this condition is true, so I'm going to compare A with the C. So I'm going to nest a if again inside the if. So if A is greater than C. Okay, so what I'm doing, first I'm going to compare A with the B. If my A is greater than B, then I'm going to compare A with C. If this is true, I'm going to print A is large. Else I will write print A is small. Else if B greater than C. Okay, so if my outer condition is false, if A is greater than B, if this condition is false, if A greater than B, if this condition is false, that means A is not greater. So we left with the B. So we will compare that B with the C. If B is greater than C, we will write print B is large. Else print C is large. Let me modify here. This is also going to be C is large. Finally, we will write print operation done. It is asking for a number. Let's enter 4, then enter 6, then enter 2. So you can see when I have entered 4 first, then I have entered 6, and then I have entered 2. So out of this 3, I got 6 is large, and finally the operation is done. Okay, let's execute this again. Now let's enter first number as the largest number. So I'll enter 8, then I'll enter 3, then I'll enter 2. So you can see I have got the output 8 is large. Now again I'll run this. Now this time I'll specify the third number as the largest number. So I'll add 2, then I'll add 3, then I'll add 5. You can see I'm getting 5 as a large. So here basically in this program we have used the if-else nested structure. Okay, so inside if we have the if-else, and again inside else we have the if-else. So this is what the nested if-else structure we have used to implement the code. Now let's discuss the next structure, that is if-elif else structure. So when we have to perform multiple comparison, okay, when we have to perform a multiple comparison, then in that case we can use this if-elif else structure. Now suppose we want to check whether a entered character is a vowel or not. Vowel means whether a character is A, E, I, O or U. If a character lies between A, E, I, O, U, or if a character is A, E, I, O, U, then we can say that it's a vowel, otherwise it's not. Okay, so we will read the input from the user. So I'm taking a ch equals to input, prompting a message, enter a character. After taking the input from the user, now I'm going to perform the comparison. So I'm going to write here if ch is equals to capital A. Okay, so both the things I have to check now, whether it is a capital A or it is a small a. So I'm going to use the operator OR here. Okay, so this is to either this or this. If entered character is capital A or entered character is a capital small a, then we will say that it's a vowel. CH is vowel. L if not, we are going to check with the another character, that is capital E or small e. I'm going to print CH is a vowel. L if CH is equals to capital I or CH is equals to small I. Print CH is vowel. We'll go for one more condition here. If not, suppose we have it is O. So CH is equals to O or CH is equals to small o. Print CH is vowel. L if CH is equals to U or CH is equals to small u. Print CH is vowel. I have to include the strings in single quote. Single quote. Okay, so if entered character lies either A, E, I, O, U, it is going to be vowel. Otherwise, the character is not a vowel. So if else, we will write print CH is not vowel. Finally, we will write print execution done. Okay, so now you can see we have used the if structure. When to use this if structure? When you have multiple conditions to test. As I said, I have to check whether entered character is a vowel or not. And we know that vowel character can be A, E, I, O or U. So 5 different conditions. If my character is either A, E, I, O or U, I can say that my character is a vowel. Otherwise, it is not a vowel. And at the end, this is what I have written execution done. Means once after every statement, it is going to execute this execution done. So let me enter, run this. So it is asking for a character. So let's enter small a. So you can see it is saying A is vowel and finally it has printed execution done. So once the condition is matched, it comes out of that structure and printed the next line. Let's run this again. So let's enter a capital X. You can see it has displayed X is not a vowel and execution done at the end. So this is how we can use the decision statement for comparison. So whenever in your program you have the comparisons, different comparison statements to work on, then in that case, we can use the decision statements along with the relational operators. I hope you have understood all these things. Thank you. Thank you for watching.